Let's proceed to our topic, the internet and social media. Here are the topics that we are going to discuss. First, the internet in China. Second, the fight for global internet governance. And lastly, social media and social movements. The internet in China. China overtook the United States in terms uh, of a total number of internet users in 2008. Here are the facts in the internet in China. In year 2013, according to Hunt and Su, 2 million people are employed by the state and private companies to police the internet, and hundreds of millions of posts are made each year to influence public opinion. And according to Zhu et al., the 30% controversial posts are deleted occur within 5 to 30 minutes, and 90% of deletions happen within first 24 hours. In year 2016, according to Crowcroft, 25% of the internet is blocked in China. And according to Denver, 40% of the world's online trade in goods that e-commerce captures. As of the end of 2017, there were 772 million internet users there, or 55.6% of the China's population, or more than 1 in 5 of the world's users. In 2017, China's first cybersecurity law came into effect. According to Qiang, the law required the internet companies to allow even more surveillance of their networks, submit to mandated security reviews of their equipment, and provide data to government investigators when requested. At the year 2018, 4 of the top 10 internet companies in the world were headquartered in China. It was long believed that China could not maintain the Great Firewall forever, and that eventually it would crumble. But as of 2018, government control of the internet was stronger than ever, as its leader claimed the internet sovereignty. The government had long permitted the use of virtual private networks, or VPNs, to access blocked content. But in 2016, it started systematically shutting them down, and in 2018, it announced that blockage of overseas VPN services. Internet sovereignty, the cracks in the wall are becoming smaller. It means that the government controls the internet and we are the internet sovereignty. Whereas the cracks in the barriers of the global flows are becoming smaller because the government became more aggressive in monitoring their people. Global flows. What is the most interesting about the internet in China today? From the perspective of this book, is how well it illustrates the basics argument about the relationship between global flows and structural barriers to them. These are the global flows in the internet in China. First, pirated films, music and TV shows, which can be watched free of charge. The delivery of mobile internet content, for example, music. Online communities involving social networking and instant messaging, gossip, photos, and videos of American and European sports, and so on. These global flows serves as the news feed or source of information in the country of China. Thus the 40% of the world's online trade in goods is what e-commerce captures. Golden Shield or Great Firewall. Um, this part, uh, this part of a larger effort by the Chinese government to block various flows. The Golden Shield project, often referred to as the Great Firewall of China, is a censorship and surveillance project operated by divisions of the China government. Um, these are the structural barriers, or what China called Great Firewall. First, censoring the news, controlling what is shown on television, placing limits on bookshops and movie theaters, restricted access to a large number of foreign websites, for example, Wikipedia, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Google. Thus, the 25% of the entire internet is blocked in China. Also, there are several other countries censor the internet, including Russia, Cuba, Vietnam, Iran, Egypt, and Pakistan. Chinese government strategies. Overall, there are many flows into and through China on the internet, but much else is limited or blocked altogether. The Chinese government deploys a number of strategies to police any news that the government considers a threat content to social stability or the ruling party. According to Baidu, China's main search engine designed to keep out material regarded by the government as politically sensitive. For example, Chinese internet users are not permitted to access content about the Tiananmen Square protest of 1989, calling for democracy, free speech, and a free press in China. Sina Weibo or Weibo, China's main microblogging platform and one of the country's most popular sites, Chinese officials work swiftly to censor content posted on Weibo. Globalization and the flat world thesis to the internet in China. Perhaps no change has done more to further the process of globalization than the advent of the internet. It occupies pride of place in many analysis of globalization, especially Friedman 2005 idea of the flat world. Um, it means that maybe no change has done in terms of globalization in China, and it doesn't affect its people rather than the occurrence of internet. According to Friedman 2005, the internet is flat in the sense that virtually anyone, anywhere, can become involved in it. However, there are reservations about the flat world argument. The whole of social history indicates that there are always strong pressures to erect barriers to movement of all types. Both the flat world thesis and the weaknesses in it are nicely illustrated by the case of the internet in China today and the continuing efforts of the state to erect barriers to it. Next, the fight for global internet governance. Internet governance emerged in the 1990s through a complex process of negotiation between various stakeholder groups. The US government created ICANN, a non-profit group that assigns IP address and domain names. In 2012, Russia and other countries proposed shifting internet governance to an international body and individual states. Given the issue of censorship, privacy, and control raised in this section, global internet governance is a particularly important issue today. Of course, there are various coalition and negotiations who are part of this global internet governance, including the US ICANN and US National Security Agency, or NSA, and the British counterpart of it, the Government Communication Headquarters, or GCHQ, and countries like China and Russia that they continue to argue that the internet is a threat to national sovereignty and desire greater control over and surveillance of these global flows. And lastly, social media and social movements. In the internet age, social movements have harnessed technology for their goals. For individuals to take action against injustice, they must be able to envision a better future and overcome fear. Today's mass self-communication brought about by the internet has dramatically changed this potential. The question is, why do social movements need media? According to the University of Michigan student, that social media can bring a lot of good to social and political movements by creating a truly democratic platform. People use this platform to communicate, organize, and publicize issues, and so many people have the access to also engage with the content created. So thank you for listening, and that's the end of our topic. Thank you.